Today I'm going to show you how to make Tyrone from the Backyardigans. In order to make him, you will need about 44 yellow rubber bands, 28 of a dark blue rubber band, 22 red rubber bands, and approximately 120 orange bands. You will also need 2 pony beads for the eyes. If you don't have the white pony beads, then you can always just use white bands, and you'll just create 4 loops on your hook and then pull them onto a single orange band the same way that we pull the beads on. So if you want to go ahead and grab your supplies, we'll go ahead and get started. The first thing that I'm going to be showing you how to make is his antler. I've already made one of them, so I will show you how to make one, and then you can pause the video if you need to make the second one. You're going to be starting on the top of the loom on the right hand side, taking a single yellow band, and we're going to double it, and you're going to come down twice. Single, double, and the entire antler is done in single double bands, just in case I don't say it. Then going to take a single double coming from the right third peg to the center fourth, and then another single double from the center fourth to the left third. We're then going to take a single double from the third left to the fourth left, and another single double from the fourth to the fifth on the left, and then from the fifth on the left to sixth in the center, and the sixth in the center to the sixth on the right. We then need to fill in the middle section, so taking a single double from the center fourth to the center fifth, and another single double from the center fifth to the center sixth, and then filling in on this side as well with single doubles. We're then going to create the tips here of the antler. You're going to take a single yellow, create 3 loops on your hook. We're then going to take another yellow and do a single double and pull these on, hooking it back, and then you're going to take this and hook this on the third peg down from the top on the left. Just like that, and make sure that these loops are facing out. And we're going to do that again. So create 3 loops, and then single double, pulling that on, and this one will be placed on the fourth peg on the left. And we're making sure that the loops are on the outside. And we're going to do that one more time, so 3 loops and a single double, and place that on the 5th peg on the left. We are then going to place some crossover bands, so you'll be placing a single double on this triangle here, which is the 4th peg on the left, the 4th in the center, and the 4th on the right. This will be a single double in a triangle. And we're going to do one more right below that. And then we're going to cap this, creating 4 loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and begin looping. So you want to go in under the capping band, grabbing the first set of bands, bringing them up, and the next set goes to the left. Oh, I just broke a band. Let me fix that. Okay, so going to the left. Before we can go to the left again, we need to go ahead and bring the center row up. And you can go ahead and loom that up to this piece here. Going back in here, grabbing and going to the left, and then looming up the left-hand side. Make sure to be careful that you're not grabbing any of the bands from the tip of the antler. So just make sure you're grabbing only the bottom single double band. We're then going to grab this one and bring it onto the center peg. And bringing this one over to the right. And then we can go ahead and loom up on the right side. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and loosen this up. And place it on a holding hook and set it aside for later. When you pull it off, you can just stretch out a little bit if you need to. But you're going to then set that aside for later. The next two portions we're going to be working on are the top and the bottom pieces of the mouth. So starting with the top of the mouth, we're going to be using orange bands, and the mouth will have double bands all the way through. So starting on the left with 2 bands, we're going to come down twice. And repeat that on the right. And then we're going to come into the center peg. And then we'll go ahead and fill in the center with double bands. And we're going to go ahead and create a snout. The top parts of her nose. So you're going to take 2 orange bands, and we're going to take a single, and we're going to create 3 loops. And do that again. You're going to pull that onto a single orange band. And this will be placed from the 3rd peg on the right to the 3rd peg on the left. And then you want to separate the 2 sets on each side. We're going to cap off this peg, creating 3 loops. And we're going to create a triangle through this section here with 2 orange bands, just like that. And once we've done that, we can go ahead and loop up. So go in through the capping band, grabbing the first 2 bands, bringing them to the center, and we can go ahead and loop straight up. Going back in, grabbing the next 2 bands which go to the left. And our last 2 that go to the right. Go ahead and loosen this up, and you want to make sure to remove this from underneath. So we don't want to remove it from the top. So you're going to take your hook and go in underneath the bands to pull them off. And this is the top of the snout. You can go ahead and or the top of the mouth, you can go ahead and push those little bands through so that they kind of sit a little better, and push through the top with your finger, just like that. And now we'll go ahead and create the bottom. So taking 2 orange bands, coming down the left one time, and repeating that on the right. Then going to bring that into the center peg. Do that on the other side as well. And then we're going to come down one more time on the left and on the right, and bring it into the center on both sides. And then we're going to fill in with 2 orange bands in the center, and we're going to cap this off 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You're then going to take a single orange, double it, and that will go from the second right to the second left, and repeat that single double on the third right to the third left. Once that's in place, you can go ahead and begin looping. So you want to go in under the capping band, grabbing your first 2 bands, bringing them forward. You can then go in here, grabbing these first 2 bands and bringing them onto themselves on the left, and the next 2 to the right. And then we can go ahead and finish looping up on the left hand side. And the same thing on the right. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and remove this from the loom. And on this one, you can go ahead and remove it from the top. It doesn't have to be removed upside down. And there's the bottom part of the mouth. The next thing that we're going to create is his ear. I've already created one, so I'll show you how to make one, and then you can pause the video to make the second one. If you made my Cheshire cat, you'll notice that it's pretty much identical to that, which also was originally created by DIY Mommy on, I believe her pig was the first one she used it on. And she said that I could use it on the cat, so we're going to use it on Tyrone as well. You're going to take a single orange, creating a triangle at the top, another single orange, and double it on the left, and another single double orange on the right. You're then going to take a single orange coming from the center first to the center second peg, and then a single double orange, and we're going to create a diamond at the bottom. We're then going to cap off right here, creating 4 loops. Once we've done that, we can go in here. Now we're not going to pull the whole entire band up. You're actually going to split your single double band. So you want to grab just one of the bands that are there, and carefully bringing that to the left, and the same thing to the right. We can go ahead and pull the center band up and loop up the left, or I'm sorry, the right, looping the left, and go in and bring the triangle band onto itself. Gently, when you remove this, you want to be very gentle when you're pulling it off the pegs, because these bands right here could break. They are really tight. And then grab your holding hook. Once it's off, go ahead and grab the tip and pull it out to give it that more point right here. So go ahead and pause the video, make another ear, and we will continue. The next piece that we have to make before we can put them on the loom is the arm. So we're going to start on the top left with 2 red bands coming down once. We're then switching to 2 blue, 2 red, and 2 blue. and finishing off the bottom of that with 2 orange, and we're going to cap it off 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and we'll loop that up. And I've already made one, so if you want to go ahead and pause the video while you make your second one, we'll go ahead and get everything placed on the loom to finish him up. Now we're going to go ahead and work on his face and his body. So we're going to be starting at the top of the loom with orange bands, and his whole body will be double bands unless I specify otherwise. So you're coming down with 2 bands off to the left and 2 off to the right. Then coming down twice with 2 orange bands on the left, and repeat that on the right. And then bringing it into the center peg. And then let's go ahead and fill in the center of his face. We are then going to come off the chin peg with 2 blue bands coming out to the left, and 2 blue coming out to the right. And then switching to red. So 2 red on the left, 2 red in the center, and 2 red on the right. Switching back to blue, 2 blue on the left. We're then switching to 3 blue, so 3 blue bands in the center, and then 2 blue on the right. Back to red, 2 red on the left, 3 red in the center, and 2 reds on the right. And then one more time with the blue, so 2 blue on the left, 3 blue in the center, and 2 blue on the right. Then we're going to switch back to the orange, so you're going to do 2 orange on the left, 2 orange on the right, and then bringing it into the center with 2 orange for both sides. And then we want 3 orange on this center peg here, and then 2 orange to fill in the last part. And we're going to cap this off, creating 3 loops. 1, 2, 3. And then we need to fill in the legs. So you'll be using 3 orange bands on the left-hand side. 3 again. And then finishing off this part with 2. So you should still have 1 peg left on the bottom that we won't be using. And go ahead and repeat that on the right. So 3 orange on the right. 3 more. And then 2. And we're going to cap off the bottom with 3 loops. So 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Now we can go ahead and place some of his body parts. So if you want to grab the ears, they're going to go on the top left and the top right pegs. And you actually want them not to be sticking straight up. We want them to stick out to the side. Just like that. And then to place the antlers, they're also going on the same peg. When you place the antlers, you want to make sure that on his body, the tops of the antlers we placed, the loops, they need to be facing up like this. So you want to make sure that, like if I put this on like this, his antler will be upside down. So I'm going to have to switch it. And that way when I place the antler on here, looks like I have a loose band. I sure did. That way when I place it, the round pieces are facing up. And the same thing on this side. Just like that. We can also place his arms. They're going to go on the 2 shoulder pegs. And then we want to also place on his eyes, so taking a single orange band, pinch it, take your 2 white beads and push that through. And then those will be placed on the second right to the second left. Separate the beads and pull one of your bands up above this second center peg. Now we're going to place some of our crossover bands, so you're going to take a single orange coming across the rest of the bottom part of the face. Coming down into the body, we're going to start with a single blue. We're going to be making the triangle right below the arms with a single triangle blue. And then the next one is a single red, single blue, switching to orange with a single orange, just like that. Once all of this is in place, we can go ahead and begin looping. So we can go in under the feet, grabbing the bottom 2, and loop up, stopping at the base or the top part of the leg. Repeat that on the other side. Then we go in under this capping band, grabbing the first 2 and bringing them forward. Next 2 going to the left, and my next 2 go to the right. And we can then loop straight up the center. Go back down. I'm going to go through the right side. And then going back for the left side. We're then going in under all of these bands, and you want to grab the first 2 bands. We're going to bring those forward. The next 2 coming to our left, and the next 2 go to my right. We're going to stop here, and we want to go ahead and push all of this down. And we're going to attach the mouth pieces. So we're going to start with the bottom piece. This is the one that has 2 sets of 4 bands, and they will go on the right third and the left third peg. And make sure the center is pulled down below the 4th center peg. And we're going to take the top part of the mouth. This one has 3 sets of 4 bands. So the first 4 will go on the right third peg, the center 4 will go on the center third, and then the left 4 will go on the left third peg. That's a lot of numbers. And once we have that in place, we can go ahead and finish looping. So you can go through the center, grabbing the bottom 2, bringing them all the way up, repeating that on the right, and then we're finishing up the left. You then want to take a single orange, go through all of the bands on the top, and create your slip knot. And we are then ready to remove him from the loom. Now, once he is off the loom, you can go ahead and just push through the back to bring his eyes forward, and then just try to straighten out his mouth some. And we're going to go around the back and hide our slip knot band. And pulling his ears straight out, and then fix his antlers. Pulling out his feet and his arms. Then you can take a Sharpie and make sure to push the eyes forward so you don't end up drawing on the bands. Just like that. And that is how you create Tyrone from the Backyardigans. I hope you like him.